Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome yourselves back to Team Fortress TV for your continued Premiership coverage. Tonight, we've got you a game of lesser Titans. It's a game at the bottom of the leaderboard thus far, but that should make it a close one. We are going to be seeing Wheelchair versus Brah. As I said before, these guys not looking so hot so far in the season, but have had some tough competition. But both teams managed to take points off of Swift. So obviously have some caliber. That team is no shoddy pair at all. But I'm joined tonight on production by Samus, and on the other mic is Ben. So how are you doing tonight?
It's good, yeah. It's I know Prem's always we live in a different time world. We had a week 7 game before. This is meant to be week 5. We've got a week 4 game happening today, so I guess we need to sort of get the hyperbolic time machine sorted out at some point. But never mind, that's for another day because we've got some TF2 to watch. And like you say, it's two teams not having the best of fortunes, but there's a lot of crossover, right? They've both won one map this season. Both of these maps have been won against Swift, who seem to just trade maps against absolutely anyone this season. But yeah, it's not been the greatest of starts for these two teams. Hard strengths of schedule, got to be said. But yeah, these are two teams maybe looking to have a bit of a turnaround mid-season, you've got to say.
Yeah, you'd hope so. They want to get some points, see if they can get up there into, those playoff contention spots. It's definitely not over. We have definitely seen our two strongest teams in Mandem and Witness Gaming so far, but there's still that, third spot to play for. It's not over until the fat lady sings, right? So these teams will still be playing their hardest, still trying their hards out. And, at the end of the day, worst comes to worst, they're still bragging rights to play for. But as we do have quite a lot on the servers, why don't we quickly go over maybe some of the rosters, Ben?
Yeah, sure. We'll start with Virtus Brah. They're as we say, only one map won so far. But if anyone was watching along on Monday, they were so unfortunate to not get anything out of that Garda game. They lost 6-0, and they were down to the last 5-10 seconds. They were pushing into last, couldn't equalize, and then they threw a 2-0 lead on product, got reverse swept all the way back. So really one of the turn of fortunes there. I've got to say, players look out for. Olga has been fantastic so far this season on that pocket scout role, really doing a lot of DPM, really running in with those Ubers, getting a lot of impact out of it. But yeah, given that we're starting soon, I guess we should talk about their opponents. Wheelchair on the other side.
Yeah, so you did miss out a little bit. You talked about the one player who's not here tonight in Olga. Olga will be replaced by Pappy from Witness Gaming, usually thought of as a soldier main, but is going to be playing Scout for them tonight. So a lot of experience in that head of his, though, so should be a reasonable replacement. But on the side of Wheelchair, we do have Hexeri and Zinzuldat. Zinzuldat, been a fantastic scout, has shown real promise. Hexeri coming up through the ranks at a rapid pace. His second season in Prem now, and he's looking to prove he can play with the big boys up here. And then we do have Faust and Warped returning to Prem after, I think they both played a little bit of Prem in the past. Force playing on Medic previously, but has moved on to this soldier role, and he's seeming pretty comfortable around this team. Playgray on Demo, and Lenny rounding it up on Medic. Did a fantastic job in the games I've seen him played. But as we say that, we are rolling out here. Ben, on the red team, we do have VB, and on the blue team it is going to be Wheelchair. So why don't you take us away on this first mid?
Yeah, it's all important. Both teams looking to play it fairly safe here, rolling out to the other side. Never mind, big aggression coming across the point here. Soldier straight in onto Kuhn, just taken down very early. Warp traded back, but that's Demoman down, and High goes down as well. Scout down also here for the red side, but Fishkopf is all the way in behind. Looking to maybe be a bit of a distraction here on second point, but point is conceded. Maybe some aggression coming in afterwards, see if they can get in onto Lenny, but no, just distraction for now. As Virtus Brah look to really come back in here.
Fishkopf going for the bomb now. He is going in. Can he find himself? This medic pick off. Lenny only managed to find that one rocket, unfortunately. So that will be the rest of VB having to back out.
Yeah, Scar, I think, beefed a jump from underneath as well at an awkward timing. Could have maybe got up there and caught that last lick of damage there onto Lenny. But as it stands, one pick going away of the blue side. It's maybe not enough to prompt too much of an aggression here. They're walking in through big door, taking this space. But no, maybe into a early Gullywash second stalemate, the classic.
Yeah, Hexari just deleted by that sticky trap there. Very unfortunate for him. Cleared the first round, did not think about the second one. Kuna was more than ready for that. But yeah, as you said, it's just going to be a bit of a stalemate now. We'll probably be looking for Wheelchair to try to push in something. They seem to have more options here. You can either try to get a trade through choke, usually called the captain trade, or you can go for something in big door. Looks like they are going to go for something through choke here. Is Force going in, looking for some damage initially to try to maybe get these players out. And they send a stack in instantly on Ward, managed to get Gel actually, so that is a med drop. Was not expecting that at all, but good job by the side of Wheelchair making a creative play there. But now they need to keep their medic alive.
Yeah, it's going to be hard work here for the red side of a Yell going down. The Virtus Brah really not too great, and they're using that as a cue to leave all the way back here. But full death on last, and Gel's only just spawned now. This is going to be so hard. They're not going to get Uber any time in the near future. They've got the gun up, and they've got a pyro coming in as well, but they've really got their work cut out for them here as Wheelchair. Maybe this could be the chance that they could have here for an early first round on the board.
Yeah, you would hope so. See where they're going. They're taking their time. They know they have plenty of time to build up. Looks like it is going to be a river push. Probably sending one scout straight towards. That's exactly what they do here. They have to contest this pyro and a gun and a demo man on point. Zinzaldat trying to go into water, trying to get anything done. Does manage to finish off the demo man. They've got a few other good picks during it, but losing Hexeri and now Warped and Faust as well. This is going to have to be Lenny and Playgrade just running it out through shutters.
It's going to be hard here. Fish comes in on the combo, gets one rocket into Playgrade, doesn't quite manage to get any more. There's actually only 2 players alive here for the defenders. Versus Brah only keeping 2 up, and yeah, spawners coming through in time, but yeah, got a bit scrappy there for a moment, really. Wheelchair not making the most of that Uber advantage. And now the advantage just swung the other way as it's Gel now coming up. Gonna be at 100% nearly.
Yeah, I thought they did a good attempt there to try to get in onto Lars, but maybe the soldiers sent in a little bit too early. This should be a pretty free second push here for the side of Virtus Brah. There's a little bit of potential. Oh, Hexeri's just behind.
He just snuck behind somehow, and yeah, steals it away completely. Yeah, as we say, looked like second was just on the cards, but someone wasn't doing their job in lobby. Sneaks all the way through. There was a little bit of cap time from the push, but nothing too much. Just gets him completely for free and caps it up. Very, very nice work there from Hex, and steals that round away.
Yeah, you got to be a bit tilted with that first round, right? That's not the way you want to lose your first round, but we're on to another mid. Plenty of time for VB to come back. Warp did a huge bomb, but so low during that. Instantly gets picked off by Fishkoff here. The health is just so bad on the rest of the side, but they've managed to get Gel during all this. A nice play by Playgrade, so going to want to get Lenny out here if you are the side of Wheelchair. Zinzaldat seems like he's a little caught in, wants to go for these fights. Pappy manages to get taken down with a little help by Playgrade. Oh, this could be big.
Nice. Oh, I think he's been spotted. He fired a Rap Assassin ball in, but he's currently dancing around in the combo, backs into the med of Lenny, who just about survived that bomb from Scar, and it's a bit of a scary moment there for the Wheelchair combo. They just about get out alive, but yeah, it's a bit awkward there. Players dancing around in the midst of the combo on their own platform, but they're the ones to survive. They have a full ad, they're already taking it up into lobby, looking to go maybe pretty quickly here.
Yeah, they do have to use Uber here. Fishkoff was a little bit more aggressive than I think they maybe thought he was here. But they are taking this into last. They have managed to get 2 picks on from this, so this is not too bad at all. And Gel still not up on that Uber, so they can take a 6v4 fight here. Zinzaldat is going to be going underwater, so they are going to have pressure from all sides here. See what they can do on the VB side. It's Scar with a nice bomb, and this Heavy's trying to clean up. I think there's just one too many people, or I should say many too many people. They're slowly going to lose this fight, but maybe not if Pappy can keep popping off at 18 health. He even gets a soldier with him. How do they come back from this? Pappy is just absolutely destroying them.
Yeah, Pappy and Fishkoff coming in clutch spawners. It looked all done. All the players on point had died, and the 2 spawners come in, and it's the 2 men perfect for the job. Pappy and Fishkoff sweeping it up, clutching it out. And going to be looking to push out the second here, but there's 2 off-classes here over on the blue side. We've got a sniper and a spy. The spy doesn't last too long as Faust taken out by a splash of Scar. They've still got that sniper up though, so maybe a bit of a danger as they try to walk into mid here. There's this Brah.
Oh, nice headshot onto Scar. Does manage to take him down early. They're taking a lot of aggression here, though, on the side of VB. Do lose 1 and are going to have Uber pretty much only 20% before Lenny does. So maybe not building quite as well as they could have here. We'll see if they want to use it, but it's going to be a tiny ad here, Ben.
Yeah, it's Yell going down in that last push. And then spawned, not exactly the ideal time, but yeah, it looks like it might be slowing it down a little bit here. Sniper has changed back off as well, we need to notice from Wheelchair using the forward spawn. As yeah, maybe on versus Brah now, see what they can do, see if they can burst through into what we saw last time we had this stalemate. It only lasted about a minute before the drop comes in onto Gel. They might want to try and replicate something like that, or maybe something a little bit more viable and standard as they move over towards Big Door. Maybe people are going behind.
Yeah, they've been able to take a lot of space into Big Store straight away. There is already a scout behind. He's going to be pressuring in the shutter, seeing what he can do. High, trying to go for something, fighting the 1v1 with a Hexeri, but he's played far too much MGE today, it seems, as he wins that out. It's going to be Virtus Brah having to back up for now. They look like they might want to put some aggression in Big Door. 3 players are here, so there is a possibility that they go for a little sack, even bringing the beam to it. Let's see what they've got in store. It's Faust feeding it.
Yeah, Faust snuck underneath, and I think actually managed to do it without being seen, but all too aware in the end, and Happy deals with it very well. And it stabilised back out, 1 soldier down a piece. Scar's gonna have a slightly better spawn, but maybe nothing too much to write home about. As it's back to square one and how they want to break this stalemate. As actually push comes in, oh, never mind. It looked like maybe some aggressions coming through choke there. Fishkoff dealt with in good fashion.
Yeah, very quickly got dealt with there. I think too many players are watching that choke at the time. They are busting through Big Door again. They love going for these counter trades, counter sacks straight away on the side of Wheelchair. So very respectable from them. Soldier is in, but destroyed by Akuna and Scar Airshot. Hexeri also goes down, so 2 down for the side of Wheelchair. This is the opportunity they need on VB to come in here. Looks like they are going to trade straight into choke here. Scar struggling to take down this scout, but it's staying alive for now. It's going to be an absolute nuisance in this post-Uber, you would expect here. Positioning is pretty good for Wheelchair, but we'll see if they can deal with it as they do come flooding in and Wheelchair decide to concede this time. Yeah,
with 4 players up, they're looking to not lose any more. Actually saying that Zin goes down just in the flank, but yeah, they really was numbers disadvantage. It's really hard to come back from there. Stayed in for a while. You could see there wasn't any overfeeding or anything as they can now get a full setup on last. And yes, maybe actually slightly better over here on Lenny. Used a bit later there coming into the choke, but now they've got past 1 stalemate, going to have another one potentially on the cards here.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen a lot of creativity into these Gullywash last recently, and this might be one of them as Wheelchair just running it up river with a pyro, getting so much damage done with Faust here as well, and surely they find this medic as well. This has gone so well for them. They've just timed the aggression through absolutely every doorway. They do have to be careful of the scout hiding in wood. It's high. Can he get onto last? There's 2 players to contest with though. I don't think he's going to win this one out. He does not, unfortunately. He's a little too fast on the gun and finds those respawners. But now Wheelchair should be able to get onto mid here with this player down. They don't have a great setup quite yet.
Yeah, it's a really nice, creative push coming out there straight up the river. The Pyro Air Blast takes down Keenan with his own pipe, but yeah, they're now walking into mid. Got 1 pick already, and they've taken all the space here. This is a really, really nice push out here coming from Wheelchair, and they've still got ad. There's still 50% ad over on Lenny, and they're going to take it straight in here, going all the way into the choke, sending those soldiers in, and they might even get second for free.
Yeah, if nothing goes wrong here, it should be a coast to coast, but Fishkoff might be that thing that goes wrong. No, can only find the 1 rocket on Lenny, and he beautifully sets up. But no, Playgray even manages... Oh, sorry, I thought it was the other way around. Playgray does get used onto last. They are going in here, see if they can find any picks. It's not going great so far. They do find 2. Uber comes out from jail. Can they really find anything with this, though? Everyone is so separated. Still 5 players up. Make that 4 here. Faust is on the point. Tries to go for something on the medic, but can't. But no one is on the point. Playgray just edges it out. The cap time was too immense, and they go 2 rounds up on Wheelchair. This might be their map.
Yeah, Yellow was... with the Uber charge, but it's all well and good. You've got Uber charge players on the point, but it's on the low ground. Like, you have to commit so many players to standing on that point when there's so much cap time that they're all just caught on the low ground, and the Uber charge fades. And so do their lives. It's 2-0 now. Wheelchair coming back on what is basically a coast-to-coast round there. From their own last enemies in about a minute. As we go into mid-fight number 3, see if Iceland's got anything cooked here, and it looks like Fishkoff is straight in. Goes 1 for 1, but Playgray is the one to go down here early. It's a demo pick. Going the side of Virtus Brah. More picks up, but Gel gets taken down, and more frags come through. Hex going huge. Coming in, and 3 HP on Kuna as well. He's going to have to go all the way out. Hex is actually looking for more, going all the way into the enemy Big Door. Really, really feeling confident here as he might try and clean up onto high as well on the point. Pistol out, maybe not quite.
Yeah, they had a nice pincer going on there. Zinzel Dat was still in behind as well, so They just had the confidence to go back in, take that fight, clean up those last players on point, and that's going to be maybe even a little bit detrimental here. It should take a little bit of time to cap, but it's going to make it a lot harder to, slow them down at all here. Kuhn is only just up, highs up. Scar is doing a great job of pumping out damage into lobby. But he's got to be careful with his own life here, as they're already into last. Haven't capped up second quite yet, so we're going to slow things down. Gel is on 60%, so they can't wait around for too long here, Ben.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that mid-cap time is coming in quite useful here, because it means that the slowed down caps mean that Gel, there's a world where later on into this fight you could manage to use out that Uber charge. But speaking of Uber charges, wheelchair coming straight in here through the shutter, fighting out that heavy in secret, who's going to actually take quite a while to go down. Path taken out in the end, but Uber charge at 90% for Gel, and that's the number we've got to keep our eye on. But he's not getting anyone to beam. Not managed to heal up anyone, and there's so few players. Only Kuna out at the moment underneath the point. You're going to have to try and block, but it's an impossible task, and they don't manage to get Uber up.
Yeah, they are looking dominant here on wheelchair. I was not expecting them to look quite this good during this entire first half of the game, but they've just been really dominant on these mids. They've been going so aggressive, sending their soldiers in. That's a big play Walk likes to do, is going for those super fast bombs. We saw it on the first mid, but they've just been super solid overall, and then the scouts have just been able to clean up, and they've been playing amazingly well against Lenny. We'll see if they can do anything different on VB this time. Looks like Fishkoff is in behind in this drop-down area. Gets some early damage onto the medic, but can't get much more here, as they are cleaning up a good early 2 picks. High chased down by the double scouts once again. Now it's just Fishkoff going for anything. Gel, the lone survivor, is going to be running it to last, chased here by Faust, but no, it's going to take the arrow to the face, and Gel's going to get to spawn and find his spawners.
Yeah, it's really nice to keep that Uber charge up. It's going to be disad, obviously, due to the lack of healing, but it's not as severe as it could have been. But yeah, on the mid, big credit to Hex and Zin again on these mid fights. The chariot of scouts
They're already
across the
going
point. They're going in, they're in straight away. Uber charge isn't even up for Gel yet. It's going to be looking to stay alive. They're all the way onto the point. No one can cap yet because there's still shiny players standing on it, and it looks like it's, oh, their HP's on the red side. Versus Brah very, very low, but they're still alive. Gel goes down late, and it's a full wipe. But yeah, that was maybe 50 health away from being a complete crunch onto the point.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that aggression and just kind of going, a balls to them. You see they're going up into river, and they'll probably try to contest second there, and just forcing their hand to come back was really good. They also get that silver lining of Gel, right? So it's going to make it a lot harder to stay on this mid. I actually was surprised. I expected them maybe to try to contest this mid anymore. Still no kills up here, but they are kind of giving it up a little bit. Fight does come in now, though. We'll see if they can really get too much on wheelchair. They're taking a lot of damage on their soldiers, so gonna not have damage. Well, oh, but Lenny gets dropped. Not dropped, sorry, just dies into the cross back wall by High. They've now picked up 3 players. This is surely gonna be around for VB.
Yeah, you gotta say, this is as good of a chance as any so far. They've still got the sniping forward scoring the Hex to contend with, but looks like at the moment they're walking in, taking the space under second. With about 50 ad, they're going to have a big timing window here if they want to start going into the lobby. They don't even have to rush it if they don't want. They might want to go reasonably quick, stop that gun from getting built up too much on Hex, but yeah, ball's certainly in Virtus Brah's court here.
Yeah, just going to be getting held up, getting this last part of the Uber here. They do have a Sentry and Pyro to deal with, which is, always a pain. It means you have to go in an Uber, have to commit to things, but they do use this Uber aggressively here. Seeing if they can get anything. Sentry going down early. Kuna putting a lot of damage onto his left-hand side. Not really connecting with as much as he would hope here. Faust the first one down. Hex area as well, but Warped finding a 2k is going to keep them in this fight for now. High finds some nice shots as well, though, and Pappy is just being a little rim goblin up top. Gets the Timmy 2-shot on play great, and they do take this as their first round. 3-1, 15 minutes remaining, but there's still everything to play for.
Yeah, really nice push in there. I know they didn't get the frags too instantly when they ran in, but they had the ground, they had the space, they'd forced the heavy, the pyro, all the way back into spawn, so it didn't matter. Coming, claimed the frags at the end of the post-Uber, very, very nice conversion. Yeah, this game's not over at all. 2 rounds in it now as Virtus Brah get themselves on the scorecard, and as I say, they've got to maybe look in these mids. Happy, very nice early pick coming in. Yeah, Playboy gets taken down, and this could be the mid turnaround here over on Virtus Brah. They're getting so many fights. Lenny last alive and got a mirror of the previous one, and they want to go in aggro here. Happy and Gel all the way into Lenny, and Lenny goes down very, very late there. all the way back on second, and this is a mega disad here.
Yeah, this is huge. Those soldiers got absolutely deleted from the server. I was on the warp cam. He just gets absolutely shredded by 2 scouts jumping into his face as soon as he lands. He was not expecting that at all, and they just, without that soldier aggression, kind of just crumbled a little bit on the side of Wheelchair, giving VB this full advantage. Tried to go into last. They managed it last time. They seemed very good about using Ubers properly, getting players in the right position, and dealing with that demo man in a very creative way from Pappy. So I'm sure they can do it once again here. They're looking to go from shutters again potentially here. Want to try to get some damage on this gun. Spot everyone out as Uber does come through. It's going to be onto the gun. Gun goes down nice and early here. Kuna again able to trap off this left side a little bit, but has allowed everyone out the right hand side, and the damage is not great so far. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Still a demo man hiding in secret, but it looks like it might have to be VB just backing off here as they lose 2. High still fighting a little bit though, gives them a little chance, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, he's going to be getting picked up in water, and only 2 players left up here. The Ubercharge forced out onto Lenny at the very, very end, but Kuna taken down means the ad isn't going to be great, and that's even assuming that Gel gets out alive. So well, maybe not ideally yet. Taken down, not getting out at all. But yeah, it didn't go too well there, did it? The push coming in, Kuna trapping on the left side, but it didn't matter. All the spawners come all the way out from the other side, and yeah, they don't manage to get the ground that they had on that previous push, and really come back to bite here. They're the ones all the way back onto mid, and with a decent sized disad here, with Yell going down so late in that push.
Yeah, Fishkoff is hiding by this drop down. I was actually expecting him to go for it. I was kind of hoping he would disrespect a little bit there, but he decides not to. Warp goes down early though, so this might be enough for them to stay in this fight. Lenny dies as well to Fishkoff. I guess him in Big Door wasn't the correct play after all here. They're still going to want to fight, but I think with that Pappy snipe, that's going to be it all over. 3 down on the side of Wheelchair just for Fishkoff, and Scar doesn't even want to end this. He wants to keep chasing deep.
You've got to respect the aggression there coming in against the blood rush. Rush of anger wants to charge and get all the frags, and there's now a decent sized ad for Gel and the side of versus Brah. See if they can make it work this time.
Couldn't quite find the headshot, nearly took down the demo man there though. They do have an ad, but now with a sniper to play with, this is not really the position you want to be in, right? You kind of want this double scout up if you can do, but hopefully they have enough ad here. It should be about 30 by the time they push in here. Looks like it's going to be a classic shutters push once again. It's only heavy this time.
Demo down.
That finds Kuna early though. Yeah, that's a demo down, as you say. High is going deep into this spawn to try to find any picks he can, but he's unable to find anything so far. Just little bits here, there, and everywhere of damage, and that will be that for the VB push. Warped is in a sneaky little position behind. See if he can collapse on here. Gets Pappy. Can he find any more here? No, unfortunately not. Fishkoff hits a nice little mini air shot. We'll keep his medical life for now.
That pick onto the demo man of Kuna at the start is absolutely huge. Losing the demo in the middle of the Uber, not what versus Brah were looking for at all. Huge shot from Zinsul that there coming in, and as a result of that defense, they're going to walk out, take their second point, and yeah, the Ubercharge used out in the end is maybe not ideal for the side of Wheelchair, but they're still going to come into mid regardless. Yell doesn't have it, so they've got license to do so as they walk in. Happy denies 1 soldier. As the fight gets a little bit scrappy here, over towards his second point. Hex gets another kill. As, yeah, it looks like Wheelchair going to back out. They've seen enough.
Yeah, they had to concede there. Fishkoff was in behind a little bit big. A bit of a menace. Does eventually go down to some nicely placed stickies from Playgrade there. So that will be a little silver lining for them. Uber should even out coming onto this last. Already 80%, so unless they get onto this medic in the next 5 seconds, does not look like that's going to happen. Ubers should be even here. I don't know if they know this from VB, as they are poised to once again go for an aggressive play. They've seen their positioning though now, and they know, so we're going to be looking for a sack attempt from VB.
Yeah, going to force to slow down a little bit there. I guess they walk in, they may be thinking about going straight through Shosu, and there's a pyro in their face, and they're like, wait a minute, this isn't normally what would happen if we were at ad. So think better of it. Decide to slow things down, and yeah, we're going to see if they can get onto this this gun, this medic. It's such a hard fortress to break, right? Though with the gun there, the dispenser there, the medic behind all those little pipes and those little pillars. They get the gun though. That's a start. That's the first line of defense.
That's a great start. Fishkoff looking through main to go for a bomb here as he does go in, but instantly denied by that pyro to reflect. It's sent all the way back into river from that, so that will be a failed first attempt. Happy goes in for something while he sees the distraction, but it's not enough. Oh! Oof, I thought that was going to get him then. I switched onto his cam and he was very committed there, but unfortunately could not get anything. 2 down, but probably not enough to push out. Warped goes for a little counterplay, but unable to find anything either.
Yeah, especially with that pick going back the other way now. Push out certainly not on the cards, and I'd be interested to see if if Virtus Brah decide to go for any sort of off class here, given that they've got spawners coming in. It looks like we're keeping it close at the moment. They believe in the soldiers and the spam. See if they can get in again. It almost worked last time, to be fair. There's maybe some pressure coming in now from water. Could be the cue for a sack to come in.
Yeah, Warped is up top. He's already getting spammed down from all angles. He does manage to get a nice last rocket onto high. They've been so good at spamming this gun out, though. This Pyro has not been able to deal with this amount of spam that's been coming out. He's been trying to play Pyro dodgeball as much as possible, but sometimes not quite enough there. I expect that water play to kind of keep coming out here. Maybe we see High come up on a sniper to go for some, that player who does usually play on rim. You can just kind of snipe him from balcony, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. They're going to keep trying for a little bit longer. 3 minutes left on this countdown until the round does reset, so still plenty of time to play for if you are VB. But with 2 rounds down, 7.5 minutes remaining, Ben, would you like to see them maybe get a hustle on?
Yeah, I'd be maybe tempted to go with some sort of some sort of play, some sort of exchange here. Maybe try and speed things up a little bit, but Kuna going down is really not what they're looking for. Demo down might cancel any ideas of that, but yeah, time ticks down. They're the ones 2 rounds down here. Wheelchair content, of course, to sit it out. Yeah, High gets a little bit of cap time there. Not quite going to manage anything else, but yeah, this Fortress is really going to take some breaking here. Over for Wheelchair. The Pyro on the gun is just so hard to deal with.
They've created themselves quite a castle here in this defense. Even with these stickies on point, it's going to make it so much harder to go for any play. Scar goes in for an interesting attempt. That gun usually always denies. Faust goes for the insta-sack, but also not really able to get anything. 40 damage on Zhao is all he managed to get here. And this is just kind of wasting these times, waiting for these spawners. They're not really setting up for anything. Since we last checked, already 1 minute, 20 seconds down here. Fishkoff gets into a nice position to spam the gun, but there's just not enough aggression from all the other angles for everyone to get it. I think they just need to slow down, spam this gun out once more, or maybe go for an Uber exchange. Kuna is so keen for this Uber exchange.
Yeah, poking around towards this shutter, see if they can at least get the gun, at least sort of reset things a little bit, and Star going down isn't going to help things. Taken down to spammer from Warped, and yeah, this is just bleeding more and more time from the clock. There's only 1 minute and 13 left before the round reset here. So maybe there's not even time for Uber exchange then come back in, because Uber charge wouldn't be back up in time. So still poking around a bit.
Yeah, we'll see what they want to do here. Yeah, as you said, only 1 minute now on the clock. This would be kind of the time where you go for your last-ditch effort plays. They have sent some people into water. There's a soldier there having a little bit of a fight, a little bit of a scrap. Not looking so good for the VB soldier of Fishkoff, though. Able to stay and live for another day, but just going to slow things down. 40 seconds remaining. Fishkoff wants to get nice and healthy so he can take this fight with Warped on the rim. But it just doesn't look like it's really happening today, as there's also traps on there.
Yeah, it's so hard, right? The low ground coming in, and there's traps, and there's such a tight choke, but you have to come through. It's almost an impossible fight to go in for unless you can hit the perfect up directs. But Ubercharge used in, they finally go for straight through the shutter onto the gun, who survived for quite a long time. Lenny still has Uber, so it's not gone too well at all. They're going to get Faust for it, but that's surely going to be it here. 10 seconds left. Ubercharge used out finally from Lenny. Yeah, this is not looking too great here. Kuna's going to try and sack for the point, maybe go for something, but no, they decide against it. Round reset comes in, and with just less than 5 minutes left to play, there's VB maybe running it against the clock here a little bit. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, right? 5 minutes remaining. This can be a fast map in Gullywash, right? If they wipe like they have last time and manage to get some, aggressive late picks, it might go all well for them here. And I think they've kind of figured out the formula a little bit of denying these aggressive soldiers on Wheelchair. So we'll see if the same happens again, as it is the same kind of aggressive setup, but they are just already on their side. High goes down early. Pappy's 50 health. Everyone is so incredibly low on VB. It's just looking tragic. It looks like it's all up to Kuna and Pappy here to try to get something. Kuna is hitting the pipes, and Playgray doesn't get taken down here. So actually, it's looking like the aggression might be swapping around a little bit as the rest of Wheelchair just back out here. They know they don't have to take this fight and risk their medic dying.
Yeah, they missed a lot of health there running across the point there, Wheelchair, and came back maybe to bite them a little bit towards the end. And so yeah, the Virtus Brah players backed up, healed up, and came back in. Nice work from Pappy there with that cleanup towards the end. We'll see how they decide to break this. It's another even Uber scenario. Into the second point, they're going to use it straight away. They know that time isn't on their side. And Virtus Brah walking all the way in. Uber charges exchange. Much better Uber coming out from Lenny though. And no one's died just yet, saying that Fishkoff trading out for Warped. But yeah, this is just going to buy more time. It's a good hold. Wheelchair don't budge, and that's another huge chunk of time taken off this clock.
Yeah, aggression straight to Big Door. They get a scout straight through, and you know, this absolute chaos is going to do so much, especially with Playgray going down. They have to play on top of this point here, but it's never ideal here. Faust tried to go in from behind, go for something. Yeah, I don't know if Lenny's long for this world. His position is just not that great overall. He does have 2 scouts to chariot him around, but no, Zinzeldab will be taken down by Kuno. Lenny finally goes down to Scar as well, and this looks like this should be a round. There's going to be last couple of people coming in. Kuna hitting some cracked pipes still. It does not matter if you ban this man's weapon, he's still going to hit some absolute crazy air shots. So we'll see what they do here. 3 down still if they want to rush this into last here. See if they can find any more picks here. Doesn't look like Pappy is in deep. He's calling for his team just to rush forward here. Scar goes down, but they managed to get 2 for it. Playgray once again the first pick out in these fights here, but maybe they've left it too long. But no, actually, as I say that, Uber comes out. High is able to get onto point, getting some early cat time here. It's only Warp that can really contest, but he couldn't connect back to the beam here. And now it's looking scary, but not scary enough, as they will take their second round. 2 minutes remaining here, Ben, if possible.
It's definitely possible. I've got to say, huge props to Virtus Brah there on that second push. Then the Uber trade went in. It didn't really get too much when they backed out and just sent everyone through Big Door. And the aggression just, I think, completely caught Wheelchair. He was completely flummoxed. He just came out of absolutely nowhere and coming in, sweeping up those frags in seconds, really comes in big. And yeah, with 2 minutes on the clock, this is more than doable. It's easily enough time. Even for a repeat of the previous round, and Fritschkoff goes straight onto the lead. But rockets don't seem to land. Doesn't get any damage off. Not an early pick. They want to be losing him with Scar and high low HP as well. It's maybe not looking too great on this mid.
Yeah, they just want to slow it down now in Wheelchair. They know they don't have to overcommit for anything. They don't have to run this over the point. All they have to do is kind of stay in this fight a little bit, but they decide to back out for now. They did see Faust was going to die and Wart was not quite up against, so they're quite happy to give this up for now and just keep this clock ticking down 80% on the Ubers, so they should be up by the time they meet each other in this fight. Looks like the fight should be into Big Door this time. Worked out pretty well from the last time. Need to be careful of those stickies of Scar, but luckily managed to live another day. But it's 1 minute remaining. They just need to go in. They just need to take this Uber exchange or do something a little bit crazy, but there's just so much spam here from Playgray that they're really struggling to find anything.
Yeah, it's such a hard nut to crack, right? This second stalemate, the even Uber situation on the second point. And yeah, Uber charge used in, but Lenny doesn't even have to use the whole time. They get no damage onto him at all, and there's still a full Uber charge up here for the Wheelchair medic. Used out eventually with a couple of players going weak around him, but he's so much better here for Wheelchair. Then he's going to turtle up here behind the point. Sure, this is going to be the round. We've got a back cap attempt coming in on mid.
Yeah, 30 seconds remaining. This back cap is now out capping the second point. Second and mid do cap at the same time for any of the uninitiated here. So this back cap onto mid is so strong. Now
That's
they
the nail in the coffin.
That is definitely the nail in the coffin. 10 seconds remaining. We are into garbage time, and that is a close, but looks pretty safe for the most part from Wheelchair.
Yeah, the time, you've got to think like the time taken, that 5 minute round reset coming in on last, it's like the time wasted there. You see, obviously, there's a couple of rounds, of course, Virtus Brah, they have to run in, they have to make things go quick, there's a timer ticking down, and they have to get their rounds in that allotted time, and yeah, maybe the amount of time they spent before trying to break those stalemates, because that was also within the last 10 minutes of the game. Maybe that came back to bite later on, but it's Wheelchair coming up good on their map pick. Maybe we've seen reasons as to why they've picked Gullywash in this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll be going on to Sunshine, I believe, next. So, a bit of a different story. Definitely not the same. The same map. A lot more soldier centric. We often see on Gullywash and Demiman centric, especially on those mids. Um, so yeah, and I mean it was the pick of Wheelchair to pick Gully there. So obviously the map they felt confident on is the map they won against Swift in the end. But now they've got to go to somewhere a bit more unfamiliar, a bit of sunshine. VB's map, the one they also beat Swift on to get that full 3 points. So yeah, you do have to expect VB probably going to come into this one a little bit more, Ben.
Yeah, you got to say, but it's also one thing I guess to note is that I was singing the praises of Olga beforehand, and Olga's performances, and of course, Sunshine is a bit of a map where the scouts can sometimes run rampant. But as someone who's not really playing today, obviously Pappy's perfectly capable, but I guess having any form of murking may disrupt the communications, make it a little bit harder on their side. It does make me wonder if they actually picked the maps before they realised they were getting a scout murk in, but I'm sure Pappy is certainly up to the job.
Yeah, before you say any more Pappy slander, I will have you know he did top frag in that
Oh
map.
no, absolutely,
He may have only done
absolutely,
100
yeah.
damage in that final Uber, but he did top frag in the end. So he's still playing his game. He's still doing his stuff. He's obviously not a terrible choice for Merc as much as some of the people laughing at that last Uber in chat might tell you. But yeah, I think Play Grey had a really good game overall. Had a little bit of a struggle in those last couple of rounds, getting picked off first. And I think they kind of realized on VB he was maybe becoming one of the bigger problems overall. But they kind of dealt with him a little bit better in the end. But yeah, overall, looking very strong from the side of Wheelchair. Those soldiers of Warp doing so much, getting a lot of good damage, and then Zinzaldad just being able to follow up on that, as well as Hexeri, just obviously cleaning up that damage. A lot of damage found on the red soldiers of VB, but they just, I don't know, it doesn't seem like they were able to finish things off. Maybe just slightly better positioning sometimes from the Wheelchair players.
Yeah, in particular, like I think Wheelchair had a great job of they were getting a. There was a lot of times the Wheelchair team they would, particularly like in the middle of like big exchange or whatever, they'd have a lot of players getting low and they were good at sort of getting out of it, resetting, healing back up again, and then re-engaging. And yeah, that might be a part of the reason for these damage stats. But yeah, I think Scar and Fishcloth they did some good jobs, but yeah, maybe a bit better focus or a bit better precision could have been the difference maker. But yeah, 3-2, still a close game. They were still pressing towards the end of that first map, and now it's their pick. They've got things to look forward to here for sure.
Yeah, they definitely do here. Going on to this Sunshine map, you got anyone you're most excited for coming into this? Anyone you know can be a bit of a playmaker on this map?
No, I'm obviously saying about Pappy, right? And everyone's memeing about it. We're saying top frag last map. I'd argue that Sunshine is an even better map for the scouts. So I'd be interested to see what happens there. Also Hex, I believe as well. I know Sniper is not as easy of a class to play on Sunshine, but we saw some high impact there. So maybe someone to watch out for. And it gets a little bit of play on that last point. It's obviously very, very hard to get into those short points, but potentially something we can look at.
Yeah, I think one person we got to watch out for on this map is Scar. I've seen him in some previous seasons on this map, and he has done absolute God's work coming into these mids. But we are starting off here. We are into our second map of Sunshine. It is Wheelchair leading one map so far, so VB want to come back into it. And there's VB on this red team, and it is going to be Wheelchair staying on this blue team. We'll see what they can do here, Ben.
Yeah, a bit of a choke versus Valley mid as the soldiers trade both sides all the way over the top, and it's going to be an absolute meat grinder on the point as Shell goes down, Lenny goes down, Plague Ray is down, and there's only 2 survivors here for the red side of Virtus Brah. Make that one Kuna last up, trying to escape, but it looks like he's caught behind here. He's going to have to go back in, try and fight his way out. Not looking too likely as he's trapped in the cafe. Giving himself a sip of tea while he's in there, but there's Valley. Maybe another door is opened over here, but not looking too good.
Yeah, he's desperately trying to get out though, isn't it? So I think somehow he might do actually. don't know how he's managed to do that, but he has. And him living, it should give them an opportunity to try to repush here, as they are already sending players in. Kuna's aggressive, as well as the soldier of Fishkoff as well. They've taken a lot of space off this wheelchair side, taking Warp down straight away. Is going to make the rest of his team just have to escape through Cafe here. So we've had an absolute turn of mid straight away.
Yeah, really nice work there, as you say, from Kuna, like getting out there, getting spammed out 1v3, caught behind enemy lines. Incognito mission, but somehow gets out through the valley and into the safe of the Cafe. And yeah, some big pipes landed on that mid fight there. So, gonna come good here for Virtus Brah. They sent one soldier in. So Playgrade is actually taken down by Spam in the meantime. So soldier for demo is definitely something workable here. With Faust going down as well. Second point flips and Virtus Brah coming in, getting the midpoint as well, and they're maybe looking to press fairly quickly here. Pappy is just all the way in deep here already.
Yeah, they have taken this aggression. I guess they thought that pick was enough. If they can get this gun, they can maybe send a sack over to try to get onto this medic here. Doesn't look like Scar is really healthy enough. Maybe looking for Fishkoff to get something on this right-hand side, but he's taken down far too low by Warps playing up close and personal. So Pappy is going to keep going in, but Lenny gets dropped by Pipe by Kuna.
That was a huge bomb from Scar. Scar comes in with all the distraction. Everyone's looking that way. Kuna hits the hero pipe across the point. Very nice work there as Fishkoff taken down by a very nice snipe there from Faust, but Uber charges up here for Virtus Brah as they walk in. And not going ideally so far, I've got to say. Got to be said. Zin's actually chasing them out of lobby, and they get the pick on the medic, they get the drop, but they just don't manage to convert.
Yeah, Pappy wants to come back in here though, or at least put a lot of aggression in. It was the sentry gun that was really denying him before. It was only level 1, but the engineer was just hitting it with its wrench, keeping it healthy, and there was no chance Pappy from that distance could even get onto point. So it does look like they are going to keep trying to go in. They do have a tiny ad if they want to use it here, but it's going to be very risky. They have been good at just kind of getting through these doors and getting aggressive, as Zinzeldab will ring out a headshot onto Pappy that will slow things down. Faust going for his iconic, I'm going to sack straight back into play, as Soldier Bomb also comes in. So they're just not worried about sacking multiple players here.
Fishkoff is actually in a really powerful position here, up on the ledge, and if there's maybe one more rocket loaded at that point, could have got severe damage over onto Lenny. Scar goes in as well, and all the revenge crits are out.
I love the revenge crits. I love when those come into play. The front hit just is a great little weapon.
It's terrifying.
To come into subs. It's terrifying. 3 times damage on a little shotgun does a lot more than you can think. Pappy does take this Uber trade in here. Went very aggressive, wanted to stop that cat type, might even get a sniper, no, couldn't quite find that final damaging shot, but he's just made so much space for his team. It's just made Wheelchair had to completely back up from second here.
Yeah, we get set back up again. Even Ubers, but no gun at the moment, so maybe would be the time for a little bit of aggression here, and it looks like never mind. Pappy taken down early. Fishkoff is still trying to make this work, stacking it onto the point, but goes down. That's 3 picks. Maybe a bit of over-aggression there from Virtus Brah, and looking good here for Wheelchair to maybe think about pushing out. Kuna going down as well. There's only gets 2 up here. That being High and Gel. High caught in as well. Gel is going to try and escape, getting chased a little bit, but nothing too dangerous.
Yeah, they're chilling for now. Wheelchair just able to retake this point. Might even be able to get onto mid here with Kuna and High down. This is definitely enough players to kind of force their hand. They even have a little bit of Uber advantage, but there are going to be some high bombs coming in. There's a lot of aggression from these soldiers up in Bell Tower, but neither of them really able to get too much before they're giga denied by these scouts. But they've stayed in for so long here. The Gel is already on 90% Uber, so they might be able to come in as Hexeri gets traded for Kuna, so maybe not the best play, but Gel does get out with Uber, as they do instantly come back in here. They do not want to stop with this train until one gets sent behind, but Playgray, once again, that first casualty I think he struggled with at the end of the map is coming back to bite him once more.
There's 2 soldiers behind here, and one of them is Warp, landing straight on the Gel underneath the point. It's a very awkward fight here on mid, jumps in towards the Cafe, Warp gets the pick. Late into that fight, Gel goes down, and what was such a good fight there from Virtus Brah is soured at the dying moments with the death of the medic. Both soldiers from Wheelchair all the way deep behind, being sneaky, coming back in, and Ubercharge advantage now sitting with Wheelchair. Lenny on 70%. So, it's going to be a while. 2 soldiers still yet to spawn in. but they're surely looking to walk it in here sooner rather than later. Let's see if we can catch anyone.
Yeah, just waiting for these last plays to kind of roll out. Warped has been doing a really great job of finding these plays and these picks throughout both these maps. He had, great mids on the last map, managing to get the meta stupid amount of times and a lot of great busts. As they do use Uber straight through the choke here on Wheelchair, see if they can really find anything. It's not looking too great for them so far. Scar, the only one really particularly low, but he manages to get out with his life here. And they've got one behind on the back cap. It's going to be a little bit of an issue if they do manage to block here, but no, they don't manage to so far. When it's so deep here, how is this man still alive?
Yeah, I guess it's the enticing moment, right? You're an explosive class, and you see ×8 on the point, and you think, oh my god, wow, let's jump in, let's think about all the DPM. But yeah, in the end, it's Plague the demo to die all the way up on second by himself. Scar takes him down, and the point flips back the other way, and with Uber advantage now for Gel, it's looking pretty decent here for versus Brah to get in and get some more frags. No frags just yet, but space certainly being taken. Lenny building all the way on last. 80% gonna have, you'd think, by the time the spike starts getting to the dying stages.
Yeah, they are coming in now, but Ubers have evened up, but they are committed here on Wheelchair. Lenny doesn't want to have to use early. Luckily manages to get into those spawn doors as 2 sacked in. I guess they did know those Ubers were coming up. A good counting from the side of VB, but now there's some counter-aggression coming in through those shutters here. The Hexary instantly deleted by some Kuna pipes. Once again, they are back on last here. We're still at a 0-0 here.
Yeah, it's been an exciting 0-0. There you gotta say, it's been feisty. A lot of back and forth, lots of tug of war going on, and now it looks like Scar gonna be the next one. All the way in, see if he can make anything work. Still want to bounce his something from the push, but yeah, Hex comes in, cleans it up, and 2 for 3.
Yeah, they do look like they want to maybe... Nah, I thought they were going to say they wanted to push this issue a little bit, but they decided against it here. They're too worried about, some potential backup or something like that. I did like that aggression, though. There was a lot going on during that fight. Faust got pushed in quite deep into the players up top right there. I was worried that if they got another pick, they'd just be able to push in straight away, but no, they just lost one too many. Those soldiers not really able to get anything. The Bootis was just too strong. They do have to worry about this Zinzeldat sniper, though. He's been looking at some interesting angles in lower here, but no, cannot connect that snipe onto the scout here, so it will be some more sacks, most likely coming out from VB here.
Yeah, Zin's had some good impact so far on this map on sniper. Getting some key picks during these pushes. I feel like when the drop came in, that one pick onto the soldier could have maybe hampered things a little bit, but speaking of soldiers, gets taken down to 1 HP by the jump coming in from behind. Chased down, and Fishcroft is actually still in somehow.
I was watching that, Hexary was just chasing him with the Frontier Justice and pistol, trying to slowly get him down. He was just stuck in no man's land where he can't really do anything. Right, but he doesn't want to instantly die in case someone does make a play or he manages to get that pick on the NG. Scar is going all the way back to spawn here, coming up on the spy class here, so it does look like he's committing here. He's going to be instantly known though because he's on Spicicle, but yeah, I should be okay. I don't think it's going to matter too much, but I love to see a spy play. A lot of the time we see sniper plays, but maybe they're not expecting this. Maybe they managed to get onto a sniper, an NG, something a little different because this med just has his back to the wall, going to make it very difficult here to try to get in.
But yeah, it's obviously a hard map to snipe into on the last point, so yeah, I appreciate mixing it up, going for the play with the spy, but it doesn't last all too long as the push comes into lobby and actually gets the force out onto Gel. Scar taken down, Fishcroft taken down, and Uber charge used, stripped from Gel, and before the spy play can even get going, it's a nightmare over on versus Brah's side. At least Gel stays alive, but that's about the only thing they can say here. Tech gets onto Hex, but yeah, nothing else coming of it, and Gel actually, never mind, dies very, very late here. The force comes out onto Lenny, but death of the med and the demo man still in the respawn queue, but Lenny might be in a bit of danger here. Just escapes down into that dungeon. Happy and
one going behind.
Scar. Oh, is the time? High's on the point. Oh, forced off it, enough watching it.
How has everyone got back there? I was so confused. I was looking at the high scout, and there's just a medic back on last. There's another scout. There's a soldier. It was all going on there. Ubers are even here, so they're happy to take this aggressive fight on Wheelchair. Finding Kuna early will just make the rest of VB have to back off from that potential fight. Should be able to get the medic of Gel out here. No one else feeds on Wheelchair. This should be particularly nice for them, to be honest. They do need to try to sack in, but getting this mid position back after quite a long while should feel quite good for them, right?
Yeah, they could even maybe think about taking it fairly fast, but Kuna didn't get the forward spawn, which I'm sure they'll be paying close attention to, but they decide maybe not to play too aggro, but maybe slow it down a little bit, see if they can get sacks in. And now it's Wheelchair's turn. I think it's maybe the first time this game that they've really had a setup where they're the ones being the aggressors. See if they can get something working.
Yeah, Force poised to jump in as he does fail his bomb instantly. Interesting from him. Not hitting the jump maps, I assume. Warp also went in. They were meant to go for a double bomb there, or maybe Faust was meant to be more of a distraction than he was, but unfortunately Warps instantly loses his life. It's just far too much looking at him, and VB instantly trying to go for some re-aggression here. They're looking to get a little bit cheeky and choke here. Do send a soldier in, but Playgrade has stickies for that, my friend. The soldiers all taken down so low, the health was looking a little bit scary there on VB. Actually, one bomb could have ruined them all.
Yeah, but in the end, we reset all the way down. It was maybe not the ideal double sack attempt there coming in, but at the end, cost nothing. 0-0. Got plenty of time to work with here to push this out and see Scar actually in a fight here on Cafe. Gets up against a Faust, which is going to open up a little bit of space here on Cafe. And it might mean that Wheelchair are going to have to back up Scar all the way. One of the medic. Very nice defense coming in. Scary times though. Oh, that combo of Wheelchair.
Yeah, Hexeri goes down there. There was a nice little bit of aggression by Fishkoff into Valley there, and just this one extra player down, it just allowed so much more momentum to come in here. Kuna doesn't go down, but trades out for Playgrade, so no demos for each side. Ubers are exchanged here. Wheelchair having to take some backward positioning for these soldier bombs coming in. Could do so much here. Joe is taken down to 15 health. Manages to survive and live just for another day, but was caught in the enemy's Valley, so will have to lose their life, and as the rest of Wheelchair just cleaning up house here. Should take a mid and a second here pretty simply, and with an Uber advantage finally get their chance to push last.
Yeah, honestly, that was a fantastic play there from Faust. It looked so scary. Fishkoff had jumped all the way up and was locking the door behind the retreating medic of Lenny as he was trying to get out through choke. But Faust comes in, lands on his head, and instantly reopens that door of escape. And that's basically why Lenny survived that fight. Otherwise, it could have gone very differently. And as it stands, that Uber charge advantage is up. It's sitting at about 50%. With second point taken, it looks like Wheelchair, with their first chance here, are going to have a pretty good opportunity to grab this game, either go for the net and go for a push. It looks like it's coming in instantly.
Yeah, looking at that standard right side Uber, they get the sentry gun out early, do lose into that, and trapped on point, unfortunately, but managing to trade out a couple, but no, Lenny gets caught by Fishkoff, and so much damage coming out from Kuna. Everyone is going to die on this team. 2 players will probably get out of this, but it's going to be probably pretty dire. Faust goes in, gets 50 damage onto Gel, another little cheeky rocket to finish things off, but can't quite find the play there. Bit unfortunate that Zinzeldat went down so early, otherwise I think that could have been a much more successful push there from Wheelchair.
Yeah, Playboy got forward spawn, which is decent here for Wheelchair, but yeah, I'm not going to be too happy with that ad push going the way that it did. Luna's actually taken down on the way into mid as a single leg. It's a very nice snipe, and Warp goes in and get the force into Gel as well, all the way around in the valley, and this holds maybe turning around with the 2 picks coming in. 3 picks make that, and Ubercharge stripped from Gel as well. 3 players surviving here for Virtus Brah, and they're going to have to back out. They got second, and it was looking so good with the ad, but they're going to lose Scar as well. And this is just turning its head.
Yeah, this is looking huge for Wheelchair here to try to push in again. Once again, new good advantage. They have been given a second chance in life here. They have a little bit of time to play with, should get their players up nice and healthy. Once more, need to probably pop 3 straight again, because there is a Pappy sniper watching through this doorway, so they know they can't really wait around here. As it does look like they should be pushing in. Uber comes straight in, sentry gun taken down early again. Zinzeldat will get that flash over point this time, will not get dropped. Kuna taken down so low will go down as well, so there's no chance of having traps as well, and Scar going down. It's just Playgrade sat on point against last couple of players. Can they find the cap time? They can. Wheelchair goes 1 round up. 15 minutes left in the map though for VB, and we've seen them come back from worse situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Learned from their mistakes in wheelchair. They got 2 attempts at it in about 2 minutes, and the second time was much, much cleaner. Getting onto that gun, keeping everyone alive, not falling to the sniper, and getting the frags and the captain that they needed in the end. And they're the ones 1-0 up now, taking his lead slightly against the run of play, maybe. They're the ones 1-0 up with half the game still to play. It's going to be a bit of a slow mid this time. Both teams just poking and prodding, rotating around as you do on a sunshine mid, but never mind. He gets it going to Hex, and there's more soldiers in the skybox. Faust will be able to survive this. No plummets to his death. Broken ankles on landing. But the players are actually falling here over on both sides. Gel taken down also. But pipes coming out, very nice pipes from Kuda, and just Lenny and walked alive. I guess it's an Uber ad, but midpoint going the side of Virtus Brah on this one.
Yeah, they'll be quite happy to lose out on that mid for now. Right, keeping Lenny alive is just the most important thing. I just want to point out Lenny did a really nice break your ankles kind of surf to live on that mid. So very impressive stuff from him. Sorry. As they do just bust into this mid. Faust going aggressive, trying to get some space from the rest of the enemy team. Uber does get popped out here in the end. Xari only able to find High. Should be able to get a couple of other picks coming in here. They managed to find Gel. I was not watching the right players there. It is Scar trying to get hit anything he possibly can. Yeah, manages to find that rocket. Pappy follows up, manages to get a bit of a silver lining. Pappy on a 2-game now takes down Xari as well. Surely he's going to die before he can kill Playgrave. That was close. 6 health remaining. Pappy nearly goes God mode.
Yeah, it's a huge play, gets the medic and just dances around with a little health pack up there, lives as long as possible, 6 HP away from getting the kills of Plague, who's actually finished off by Kuna late into this fight, and Virtus Brah, the ones here walking in very aggro. We've had a Hex and the forward spawn onto the sniper, could be potentially dangerous for any aggressors, but yeah, with meds going down, it's going to be even Ubers. Going to be stabilising a little bit, but never mind. Maybe Scar bombing in gets a fair bit of damage. Does manage to take anything over though. Fishkopf actually comes in and finishes off the damage. Never mind, comes in, double soldiers going aggro, and Scar's in as well, and Plague is taken down in lobby, and it's a full wipe here. Virtus Brah coming in, barnstorming their way onto the second point, and they're all the way on last. Scar's locking out the spawn door already. Not looking good here for Wheelchair.
Yeah, this is not looking good at all here. Uber even comes out to really seal the deal, to pull a little bit of BM out. But actually, they've got a lot of spawners, and Pappy is dropped during this, so this is actually making things a little bit harder. Luckily, High is hitting his shots here. It's all on these scouts to try to get something done here. Luckily, they even get Fausted. How have they won this? How is this going on? They tried to send him Fishkopf, but he can't get anything, and they've beefed it. That Uber's actually ruined them. All they needed to do was keep Pappy on point and just hope that the soldier does not kill him, but Gel uses, and maybe the Swan Wave kind of ruined them there. And Wheelchair even gets seconds.
Yeah, they only had one soldier and one scout really trapping out those spawns, and it wasn't enough, and the Uber charge comes out, and like you say, they just can't get the cap time. Shiny players can't cap the point, and it doesn't work out, and that is potentially a huge blunder there. Over on the side of Virtus Brah, they probably should be equalising in that scenario. Full wipe coming into last with Ad. Just takes slightly too long when the spawners come in, and now it's Lenny with the Ad walking in. Plague taken down before the Uber though, isn't the pick? They really would be losing here on the way in, and Lenny gets forced as he's rushed into the skies by the splash damage.
Yeah, they do trade for Kuna, so it's not an awful pick. They send the player behind. Scar somehow gets warped. He should never have gotten that. For Faust, oh my god, he should have died as well. This player's getting so lucky in this game here, but they take a little bit of re-aggression here on VB as Wheelchair are a couple of men down now. Faust also losing his life, a bit disconnected from the rest of his team on Wheelchair, who decides to back it out, play it a little bit safe, but VB do not want to play things safe here. They want to keep going in. They have that Uber advantage. They want to take it on to last before Lenny has a chance to get his Uber tool. Should still be about 25 seconds before he can get that, especially if he isn't building particularly well here. Luckily, he does have a little bit of a builder. But now look at this, VB looking poised to go in, use the Uber straight away, 80% Uber only for Lenny, so should not have it early on in this fight. Pappy clears those sticky, so might be able to get a bit of aggression, but Bombs coming in, doing a lot of early work, but High Fishkopf combining to get 3 picks already in this fight here. Uber does come out, Lenny manages to get it, but they can't find a single pick with this, and now this should just be the repush from VB.
Yeah, there's still 5 seconds on these spawners. They're looking to go in very, very quick. Zin gets a nice kill onto high on the point. Cap time not exactly stellar here. And the frags are coming in. Uber soars out from Jill, gets 2 on the point. Almost gets another one. That was so close. Even up to 94% for a second there. It's very, very scary. But it looks like it's just about going to be held out in the end. So much cap time, but not quite enough. And Wheelchair hold tall just about by the skin of their teeth.
Ben, I feel like I've been hit before. I feel like I've now seen VB lose 2 unlosable last pushes. Surely the next one is theirs. I believe. I'm a believer.
It can't go wrong 3 times in a row, right? Surely, like.
No. But you know what we do see on the field here? There's a little crit creek coming up on Gel, so this will be a little bit of an Uber advantage. Lenny's been so good at building throughout this entire series so far, so we'll see if this even comes into play. 80% already, Lenny will definitely not have here, but they need to really get a move on hand. Kuna needs to find a snipe of his life.
They're walking in front of the cafe. Stick Lenny! Huge snipe comes in. The first stick comes across the point and lands on the perfect target. Assassination mode onto Lenny. That means the second point is going to fall. Lenny's in the respawn queue, but this does mean, though, at the end of the day, unless that Medigun is retrievable, Yell is now potentially on crits when the last push comes in. Doesn't appear like it's been found. They seem happy with this. They seem that they're going to be content to maybe try and get the crits up again. There's 70% on this crit screen for Gel. And that seems like the order of the day.
Yeah, he's been building this super well already on Gel, already got 90%, just waiting for those last spawners to roll out, and assumingly they will try to, find some little sneaky snipes. Looks like they will be taking this onto the left side, going to take it as soldier crits? No, but it's back on Kuna, and they do use it out here, see if they can find a make
again!
to 2K. Lenny destroyed. Kuna still has it, does die to the sentry gun, but I think he's done his job here. I don't think you can ask too much more from this man. Warped also gets taken down by a crit from Scar as well. Xeri once again finding a critical kill. Gun still up, will be taken down by Fishkoff now, and he is doing some good work. Playgray managed to finish off Fishkoff with another crit assist from Xeri, but they are getting so much cap time here. Surely High can find the shots. No, he can't. It's Pappy alive, and I am actually losing my mind. This is the third push that I feel they should have just won, that they've lost again. What is going on in the VB camp here? The scouts of Wheelchair just too powerful.
Yeah, I've got to say, not even the scouts that time as well. The Frontier Justice crits go huge. The Sentry Gun gets a kill on the way in, and that means it's 2 more crits added to Hex's bank, and he uses them to really, really good effect there. But yeah, you've got to say versus Brah. At some point, sure, the 4th Uber pushing to last can't fail. Like, Kudo comes in and crits everyone with that sticky. It's a nuke on that left spawn shutter. Gets the med, gets everyone. But still, somehow, it's not enough as we reset again.
Yeah, it's going to be Ubers. It's going to be an even Uber situation. A lot more bullying onto this sentry gun this time, though. A lot of aggression coming in straight away. Soldier is in. Manages to find Xeri. Fishkoff will trade for that, but they want to walk in here. The Uber is up, so this is a little bit risky. They don't quite have it here. If they can manage to get onto Gel, this should be good. But they do lose 2 for this. Gel should survive here. Is already out in this choke, so that 4-man stack in the end has worked out in their favour here. Unless something really wrong happens, they should be okay to go for an Uber advantage play once more on the side of VB, but they're going to be building this well on the side of Wheelchair, hopefully getting close to that Uber when they do have to push into last. They're definitely going to want to slow them down or maybe even get a force, as VB is now busting the second point, Ben.
Yeah, it's Uber charge advantage. Look like maybe there's a chance that we get something on second here. Wheelchair, it could slow something down, maybe have a go at force early, but it's trying to play it safe, playing for this Uber Dissad last hold, and it's worked for the last 3 times, so why could it not work the 4th? As the Uber charge comes in, Clooney behind the point, getting the gun down. Plague survived for quite a long time here in this high ground. Not going all too well for him, and now Lenny's going to have Uber any moment, and this could turn again, and the frags fall, and it's 4 out of 4 here on the Dissad holes from Wheelchair. They just...
High go for the backhand though, he's in lower. Oh no, Faust has the rockets to win that one out, and Fishkoff also could not find anything. So once again, full advantage for Wheelchair. They are on second. See if they want to go and use this onto mid with 4 minutes remaining. They could probably stalemate, but it's a very risky decision. They decide not to. They want to keep this aggression going. They want to try to get this straight onto mid here. Kuna's traps are spotted out as well, so no one going to die early to those. Scar is also taken down to first country. Kuna goes down as well. Was just maybe a little too over-aggressive. Those flankers coming in and cleaning him up here. Gel only on 60%, and they're already poised to go in through this choke. Uber does come out here from Wheelchair. Can they manage to find any picks? No, not this time, but sending them straight back onto last might just be enough. It's going to be a real risk to try to come out from your last on VB, but they kind of need to do it, right?
Yeah, it's notoriously tough, right, to get out of last point on this map, even with picks. But they're going to have to force it through. They have ad. Gel still has this Uber charge. They're going to walk it through dungeon, maybe looking to use it reasonably early. Holding on for now. 40 HP on Gel uses in the end. But not the biggest output here. Just 2 soldiers down. Over on to the Wheelchair side. So not exactly ideal. And with Lenny getting the Uber charge up soon as well, it's back to Disad. Here, safe as houses on this midpoint.
Yeah, VB going to continue this aggression though. Scott does go down as an early pick, but they can now force out Lenny. Going to lose 2 soldiers for the force in the end though. And Pappy even going down some nice pipes by Playgrave. So this is looking a bit dire as Gel not even managing to get all the way out here. They lose Kuna as a really late pick as well. So it's just going to be High and Gel leaving to last here as the rest of the Wheelchair team are just absolutely collapsing. See if they can even find themselves a second round. Playgrave managed to find some good damage, now able to trap up at this point. Should be able to get someone on it, potentially. No, they decide to play it safe. They know they don't have to go for these risky plays. They are around up, and they are going to be on even Uber, so going to be very hard for VB to push out.
Yeah, it's weird because it maybe couldn't have been even Ubers, but High was the scout who was left alive with Gel, and he's got the Rap Assassin, and there was no way to build for such a long time there, and you see the difference it makes. This, in theory, should have been advantage Gel, but it's not really the case as Uber charges even out. Well, they're going to have to go for it regardless, walking out here with the Uber onto the second point. Oh, Wheelchair kiting it very well so far, just sat on the platform, and they're going to be so worried here versus Brah. The Cap could coming all the way through to last. There's players running through lobby, Cap running onto the point. Blasted off for now. Scar coming back and doing good damage, but it's so dangerous here. There's so much Cap time. They're holding on. Gel taken down late, and the Cap comes through regardless. Playgrade cleans it up, and 2-0 here for Wheelchair. That might just close out this map.
Yeah, Playgrave shows him how to do it there. He stands on the point, he gets that cap time. He did not care at all. Did some great damage throughout that last push. Was a bit of a risky one, but seemed to work out in the end. A minute and a half remaining. This is going to be GG's overall on this series. So Wheelchair looking strong. Maybe a little bit of the underdogs here. Not really got the most seasoned roster, but going to come out with a clean 3 points against a team definitely in their league, so they're going to be pretty happy with that. It does look like they're still taking this fight pretty seriously here. Faust wants to find all those frags for the logs that he can. Lenny nearly did a great job of getting out. Hexeri just absolutely popping off. Only Kuna remaining, hiding in a corner. It's somehow going to take down Faust, but that should be all she wrote. Only a minute really left. Garbage time. Any final thoughts on this map, Ben?
Yeah, I don't know, this entire map has just been completely decided on. Wheelchair were clinical with their chances, they took them. When the chances presented them, they took them with both hands and converted them. Whereas versus Brah, they were given chance after chance after chance and just couldn't get it to work. They had 4 failed advantage last pushers coming in, and none of them hit the mark for whatever reason. There was always something that went wrong, or something that went just way too right for Wheelchair. Always the play came through at the right time, and that's just going to decide it here, right, surely?
Yeah, I think so. I think they just had some really good clutch last holds a lot of the time. They got so lucky with spawners sometimes, and then some small misplays. I mean, the one I remember mostly is just Gel, Uber and Pappy on point, and he just runs to spawn, and then a massive spawn wave comes out straight onto him, and he unfortunately loses his life. But I don't know. They had a lot of chances on VB, as you said, and I think Wheelchair did deserve it. I think they had some really nice pushes overall, good pushes, good defenses, obviously moments of glory from both sides, but I think Wheelchair just played the better game. The scouts played absolutely phenomenal from Wheelchair. So, yeah, big credit to those guys. Zinzeldat and Hexeri, the guys probably with the least experience in the server, probably put up the best performances overall.
Yeah, it was very good work from them, particularly those last holds on the off classes, doing big work. as I say, I love to see some Frontier Justice play, and got quite a bit of output here from it over on the wheelchair side. But yeah, like you say, they're taking 6 points, and it's 6 big points, right? They've only had 2, I believe, so far this season. So big points coming in. Like we've got the logs up on the screen now. Yeah, Hex and Zin getting huge damage and huge frags on their side. Over on this side, Kuna, yeah, I guess the crits obviously plays into that. We had a couple of very clutch stickies coming in. The first stick of the crits landing its mark both times it was used, so well played over there on the Virtus Brah side. But yeah, as you say, it was just solid defense there from Wheelchair.
Yeah, Hexary with 3 Frontier Justice kills. That is all I've managed to take from this this log so far. Yeah, that Frontier Justice definitely came into play, but yeah, Hex having a great game. Kuna, I think, played really well overall in that game. I think maybe was the first death a couple times in fights, but he was pumping out so much damage. He was destroying soldiers. He was denying scouts a lot. He was not the reason that team lost, right? And I mean, he had 2 phenomenal crits. I don't think you can blame him for that at all. I think I don't know. I don't know exactly what their issues were. I think they maybe some unlucky last pushes, but I'm sure they can go back to the drawing board and find something out from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, again, looking forward. I guess both of these two teams they are obviously near the bottom of the table, but that's I guess partially we have only obviously everyone's played about half the teams by now, and they've both had pretty rough strengths of schedules. So, like, do you think what do you think about these teams going forward? Like, do you think maybe there's any hope for maybe a sneak into playoffs?
I think it will be difficult, right? But I think if Wheelchair can keep kind of putting up these performances a little bit, they maybe have a chance. They've got some more difficult games coming up, though. The last resort scheduled for the 3rd of August. Is that tomorrow? That is tomorrow. So they have that to play on 2 completely different maps. So it's going to be very difficult for them. It's probably, TLR are the team you expect to come in that 3rd place. But if they can win that match, then they definitely have a good chance of, coming up. They've only played the hardest teams so far, so they have a lot to prove. And with that VB game under their belt, they're going to be feeling good coming in for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, there's plenty of TF2 coming up, both in ETF2L, but also with I-71s around the corner. So we're back to LAN. We've, of course, I guess we've had Playgray as always playing in getting the LAN experience under the belt with that Polish LAN the other week. But yeah, there's the online cup for I-71 happening this weekend. So be sure to check that out. We've got a few teams signed up for it so far. Notably, I think Witness are in the pool. So do go ahead and check that out.
Sounds good. Yeah, be here for this weekend. Should be the 5th and the 6th of August, 1 p.m. to 9:30 BST. So that is going to be 2 p.m. to, why have they done them in this format? So 22:30, and then even later on day 2. So it's going to be action packed. There's going to be a lot of games going on. So do stay scheduled for that. But that's pretty much all from me, Ben. Is there anything else from you?
No, I think it's been a very exciting game, if nothing else, and hopefully we'll see plenty of the viewers back tomorrow when we've got more ETF2L action coming up.
All right, then. That is goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.